Yo, Brian here. If you're considering buying a Tesla or you haven't had your first road trip in yours, keep watching because I'm going to share with you my experience on my first road trip in the 2021 Tesla Model 3. I'm going to review the good, the bad, and the phantom braking. All right. So I have a list here. I'm going to go over the good first because there was way more good things about this road trip than bad or ugly. So the trip planner, it was great. It worked flawlessly, perfectly. No range anxiety at all. There was plenty of superchargers along the way, so it had no problem finding anything, and we'd stop, about every two hours or so and charge up for about 25 minutes, and we were on our way. It really used up as much range as it could, but still kept us enough to keep me from getting anxious about it. It was really great. The ride was extremely smooth. I mean, such a comfortable, wonderful ride. The AC worked great. The seats are very comfortable. The steering, is very responsive, so it's just very easy to drive as well. I really loved everything about the inside of the car while driving. Even like the road noise. At times the road noise was bad, but that was just because there was maybe construction on the road or something like that. For the most part, it was a nice quiet ride. I had a great experience in the car. Very comfortable. This car is way more efficient than I'd expected. I kind of expected the battery to drain a lot quicker using, the AC so much and going 80 miles an hour plus, but none of that seemed to affect the range. It was the trip planner again, was perfect. So I had no range anxiety at all. At one point we were going downhill and for a prolonged amount of time, and I regained 2% battery just going downhill. I mean, it was the coolest part, to me, the coolest part of the entire trip, just to see that not only am I not using any energy at all, I'm actually making energy and feeding it back to my battery for range. That is very cool. Supercharging was cool. It was really fun. I don't know, it was cool to be able to see other EVs or other Teslas. So I got to see a Model X. I got to see one of the new Model S's, see all kinds of Model 3s. I even got to see on one of the other chargers, a Mustang Mach-E. So that was cool. Supercharging also broke up the trip, so it made the trip more relaxing. I didn't feel like I needed to make good time. I knew when I was going to make it there just by following the trip planner, and it was really nice to get out and stretch the legs and maybe get a bite to eat, or maybe take a small nap. It was really, really nice. I was worried that I wouldn't make good time, or that I was going to be annoyed by having to sit and wait to charge, but it really wasn't bad at all. So supercharging was really cool. All right, what else? Climate control. I used it all the time. It was great. So if I knew that I was going to be using the car soon, I would get on the Tesla app on my phone and I'd start the climate control. I'd turn on about 70 degrees, and when we got into the car, it was nice and cooled down, and it didn't seem to affect battery at all. I mean, I used it a lot. I used it everywhere we went. It was 92 degree weather, so it was great. Honestly, I could probably ramble on forever about why I like this car. There's so many aspects to it that I enjoy. So we can just move on to the bad. And really, these are just small gripes in comparison to phantom braking. So I'm going to get to that very soon. I used Sentry Mode while we were parked during vacation, and it logged hundreds of events per night. So I kind of felt that a little pointless. However, if something did happen to the car, I would have it on tape. So, small gripe. I pay $10 a month for premium connectivity, and really I just pay that so I can watch Hulu and Netflix while charging. And I found that the connection wasn't always that great. Or actually, most of the time was not great, and Hulu was really choppy or didn't function at all. Same with Netflix. So, I mean, you know, again, a small gripe. I might unsubscribe from that. Not exactly sure. Let's talk about phantom braking. Phantom braking is when the car suddenly slows down for no reason at all, and it is very scary. I want to give a quick disclaimer. The reason why I bought this car is because I love the design and I love the technology. So, in regards to autopilot, I actually completely understand that there is going to be issues with phantom braking. The autopilot software is trying to steer for you, it's trying to brake for you, it's trying to interpret and anticipate the cars around you. So I want to make it clear that I do understand that with autopilot, phantom braking is a somewhat understandable bug that will eventually get fixed. So when I gripe about phantom braking during this road trip, I am specifically talking about phantom braking while using cruise control only. So when I started the road trip, I had planned to put a cool little camera suction cupped right here and video the trip. We were kind of running late, so I was going to do that at our first supercharging stop. Well, I was excited to do that until we hit the road, and within an hour, I'm using cruise control only, and the car suddenly brakes from 80 miles per hour all the way down to 70 miles per hour. It scared the absolute out of me. My wife gasped. I freaked out. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, luckily it was clear, because if there was someone that was riding closely behind me, it could have really been a bad accident. So instead of setting up my camera at the first supercharging spot, I found myself frantically going through the settings, trying to remove anything that could cause this braking. In the autopilot settings, I turned off emergency automatic braking. That didn't seem to help at all. So as it turns out, there really is no way to turn that off. And honestly, I'm making this video because I wasn't aware of this when I first purchased the vehicle. I thought cruise control would be classic cruise control. I mean, I definitely read and understood that there were traffic aware aspects of it, but I was also under the impression that I would be able to turn certain settings off. So bottom line is, I understand phantom braking while using autopilot, but we need an option within cruise control to disable the traffic aware aspects of cruise control. I would love to just be able to set my speed, no more, no less. You could call it classic cruise control. I don't care. But right now, at this point, cruise control is extremely dangerous. And it's a shame, because otherwise this road trip would have been perfect. I'm not saying it ruined the road trip at all, but it definitely made me less relaxed in the car. Cruise control should have the ability to just set my speed. That is it. Please, Tesla, please give us some sort of classic cruise control. So that's my road trip experience and my phantom braking rant. I hope this helps anyone considering buying a new Tesla or any new Tesla owners. And I really hope that Tesla gets this fixed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yo, Brian.